It's Super Bowl weekend, and with that comes trauma. I mean, Colin Kaepernick, Jimmy G, Brock Purdy, guys that I thought they were this close and we were going to lift a Lombardi, and we still haven't in so long. But the 49ers are going to fix old wrongs, and the boost they desperately need to continue moving in the right direction just happened yesterday. And it's huge. I can't wait to break it down with you. If you're new here, I'm Nate. And if you're looking for daily 49ers content, hit that subscribe button right there. Don't miss out on all of the action. But right now, 2025, who better exemplifies the 49er way on this football team than this guy, George Kittle? He embodies everything that you want in a player. He embodies everything that you want in a teammate. He's a good community member, for goodness sake. And the way that he approaches every single play is mission critical if we're getting back to the bowl in the next couple of seasons. That's my personal opinion. I know many of you disagree with that. I've seen many of you in the comments saying things about his age and about, whatever. And I'm not here to argue about the stats today, because that's honestly where I would go. Instead, I want to talk about what has happened over the last couple of days around George Kittle and contract negotiations. And I'm excited to share it with you guys, because I genuinely believe I want George Kittle to wear red and gold for life. I want him to be in a 49ers jersey. I never want to see him like some of the guys above my head right now. I never want to see him wear another team's jersey, especially some kind of rival. I don't want to see it, And I would love to see George Kittle in red and gold forever. But let's get to what he said first. This is where it all started, okay? So Kay Adams, he's on Kay Adams' show, and Kay Adams puts this graphic up on the screen, okay? Talking about how George Kittle is number 3rd in all-time receiving yards, and he's moving his way up, and he could actually get above Terrell Owens in 49ers all-time receiving yards. So that's just for the 49ers, of course. And he could do that. And if he sticks around for 2 more years, it seems reasonable. It could technically happen next season, but unlikely. It could happen in the next 2 seasons, very likely. So whatever the case, she brought that up and was like, so what do I need to do? You want me to send this to, John Lynch or what? Listen to what George Kittle said.
Often send it directly to John Lynch?
John Lynch, Jed York, Kyle Shanahan, send it to all of them.
Bueller, when is this happening? You're entering the last year of your contract.
I am.
I know you want to retire as a Niner, yes?
I would love to.
What's happening? Pizza.
Pizza's happening, Kay. Waiting on them.
There's no talking yet?
No, I think there's been talking. I think, we're mildly on the same page.
What are we waiting for?
I have no idea.
Mildly on the same page?
My agent does that stuff.
Well, I'm here.
Okay, my agent does that stuff. He's playing the cards right. He's handling it the way he's handling it, not saying too much. But interestingly saying we're basically on the same page. That's interesting. I didn't even catch that the first time that I listened to it. But the point is, the news broke, basically, as he said this, that it's official, that the 49ers are in official negotiations with George Kittle this season, as we were all hoping. It just makes sense. But, there was no official anything at that point. And the 49ers are officially in negotiations for George Kittle to try and make him a Niner for life, or at least extend him now, which probably means he'll be a Niner for life. Now, here's just kind of a funny situation happened where Brad Graham of the SF Niners, another good channel, you should check them out too, but Brad Graham ran into George Kittle, Super Bowl media, all that crazy stuff, and listen to what he said.
The streets are saying you might be in some negotiations. What would it mean to you to be a 49er for your entire career?
My goal is to be a 49er for life. I love wearing the red and gold. I love the support from the faithful. So it'd mean the world to me. And it'd mean nothing more than to just play my entire career for the 49ers.
Dude.
Us too, George. Us too. We feel the same way. I would love, you can disagree with me in the comments. I would love if George Kittle finished his career as a 49er and we never saw him wear another team's colors. Okay, I think I've said enough about that. I think I've belabored my point plenty now. I did want to talk about one other thing about George Kittle. He was recently in another interview because, it's Super Bowl media week, all that craziness. Here's what he said about the Super Bowl window. I just feel like at any moment you can kick a window wide open. That's how I feel. You need good players on your team, but you can find good players anywhere. And when you still have Nick Bosa under contract, Fred Warner under contract, Christian McCaffrey under contract, Trent Williams, there's still plenty of talent on this roster. And I want to ask you guys what you think about that. Do you agree with that? Do you agree that the 49ers roster right now is a couple little moves away from being a great team? Because for me, like, I'm going back to right before we played the New York Jets. I did a couple of videos at different times just talking about, the list season and all that stuff, and just seeing where the 49ers roster was ranking. And by many accounts, the number one highest ranked roster in the National Football League. Okay? Understandably, coming off of the 2023 offense was insane. So I get that. The defense was pretty good. And I feel like I understand that maybe now we look at a lot of those guys differently. And we've had conversations about Deebo Samuel. A lot of you guys disagree with me. That's fine. That's cool. That's what makes sports fun. Like, I love having these back and forth conversations. I love the discourse, right? But the thing is, even if you took Deebo Samuel out, who was not listed by George Kittle himself, there are still so many great players on this roster. And you have now a veteran special teams coordinator. And on top of that, you have Robert Saleh back. And we're going to make moves and have a second shot, a second bite at the cherry when it comes to a second linebacker, right? We're going to have another shot at that, okay? I believe we made improvements with some rookies this season. Guys like Malik Mustafa, guys like Dominic Pooney. I think eventually Ricky Pearsall. These improvements that are coming from these young players, there's still an opportunity for all the young players of this season. I mean, I'll put it up on the screen as a reminder, but we're 76 days away from us drafting a couple of big-name guys. And we have to talk about all of the potential guys, of course. I mean, we will, and everyone has been. It's not like it hasn't been discussed or anything. But we're 76 days away from new rookies joining the squad, new guys getting opportunities to play in the red and the gold. So as far as I'm concerned, based on what George Kittle said, and I'll pull that back up on the screen, Christian McCaffrey, Nick Bosa, Trent Williams, and we should add in there, I suppose, George Kittle. With these guys on the team, they're aging, okay, a couple of them. Do you feel like this team still has the opportunity to just kick the window open? Because I do. I absolutely do. I think the 49ers can totally do it. I think George Kittle is absolutely right. I think this last season was similar like the stock market, where like it's more negative. It was more negative than is actually fair based on the talent on the team. So I think we're going to have a bounce back season. No doubt in my mind it'll be a bounce back season. And I think that things are going to shake up really well for the 49ers. I think everybody's going to be, many people are going to be very surprised by how well the 49ers play. I'm thinking like Philadelphia Eagles. I know their bad year situation is different than our bad year situation, but Philadelphia Eagles bounce back, and look at them going to the bowl tomorrow. So, or Sunday, whatever. Let me know in the comments what you think about that one. I look forward to it as always. Appreciate you and hope you have a fantastic evening.